The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
Trudging Thursdays. But it's Tuesday. Trudging Tuesday. Good thing, otherwise I would have missed my interview. Man. It was Thursday. So, you probably can't tell, but I cut my hair. Yeah, I got rid of the wings. No more wings. Looks much better. If this didn't work, I was shaving the whole thing off. It's like if I have another bad hair day, it's being removed. But luckily, it worked out okay. Good morning, Michelle. Michelle says she's happy to be alive. Did something? Oh shit! Oh man, this is only going to be on YouTube. This is not going to. Give me a second. Let's see if this ends up working. Because I took channels off yesterday, but I'm going to add them back on. Let's see if it works. I don't think that it will, but oh well. Oh well. Not much I could do about it. So nobody really joins from Facebook anyway. Tomorrow, 2:00 Mountain Standard Time. I'm asking all my friends, I'm asking all my listeners, show up. I need you there. We decided to go live with this one so that my followers and maybe some of Jeff's followers could join in and ask questions. It's kind of cool that when you have somebody that's a little bit more popular that's willing to take questions on a live show of somebody he doesn't even know, don't tell me God is not working in my life. And that's kind of what we're talking about today. Trust in God. Showing up without a script. All right. Now, I didn't have a topic, so I went to ChatGPT and I'm like, give me a topic. And that's the topic it gave me. Except it was just showing up without a script. I'm like, well, that goes right along with trust in God. That's how I work with my life. And I wake up with a script today. I have to meet with somebody. I have therapy, but yeah, that's it. I have no other plans today. All right. You're like, oh, that sounds kind of nice. Well, it's not as nice as it sounds. Because I'm also the kind of person where if I have a gap of like 2 hours, it drives me crazy. Because I don't always know what to do. I don't always know what to do, man. So, and then it's like, okay, well, I could do this, I could do that. And then I start to feel overwhelmed. Morning, Leisure. It's good to see you. All right. So, an emotional week for Bronco fans. Go Stidham. We believe in you, Stidham. You can do it. You can do it. All right. We'll see what happens. We'll know Sunday. All right. A little delayed gratification there. So, yeah, tomorrow's going to be a big day for me. Looking forward to it, man. Now, so, and I don't think that I should. I don't think that I should, but where is it? Where I can't do it inside. Yeah, I can. Okay. So I was featured as, with engagement. I had 58 points, right? But look at all these people, right? All these people that love Jeff Allen. What if I sent them all messages that said, hey, he's going to be live on my, is that wrong to do? Is that wrong to do? I got a feeling it probably is. I got a feeling Facebook would not appreciate it if I did that. Oh, I'm going to show you something else. Check this out. Watch this. Watch this. This happened to me yesterday. Okay. So, watch this. Watch this. It's weird. It's weird because I give Jenna Griswold a lot of guac, right? So I go to because I look stuff up on the Colorado Secretary of State, right? So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna hit search. Watch what happens. Watch what happens. Oh, it did it yesterday. It cut me off. It's like you're not allowed to look. So yay. Okay, it wasn't anything personal. See, I take things personally. I can hear that. And that Castle Rock clubhouse that you saw me looking at, they're legit. That's what I was checking out. They're legit. Awesome on them, man. Good job, Castle Rock Clubhouse, for not taking the bait and doing the right thing. Thank you. It's a clubhouse down in Castle Rock, which is too far for me. A little south of here. Yeah. Of course, they also put it in one of the richest neighborhoods. Go figure. But anyway, I will always find something to complain about something, right? Being an alcoholic. So let's get out of that. Okay, that's enough ads. Guess we know Dave's hot chicken is back. Are you going to give me some jokes? Okay. You're done. Too many ads. Too many ads. Get out of there, Captain. Get out. Fatherly wants to look and connect with any device through your local network. Block. Block. No, you are not. All right. I think some of these are repeats, but you know what? Oh, well. If it's a good joke, it's worth repeating, right? Why did the jaguar eat the tightrope walker? It was craving a well balanced meal. What is a knight's favorite fish? Swordfish. What do you call a sleeping bull? A bulldozer. Right, disease. Dozer. Why do seagulls fly over the sea? Because if they flew over the bay, they would be bagels. And nobody wants to be called a bagel. Nobody. All right. Why wouldn't the shrimp share his treasure? He was a little shellfish. He's just a little shellfish. What do you call an alligator in a vest? An investigator. An investigator. Why do people go? All right. We need to make the buttons a little bit bigger for old people like me. All right, we're done with that. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I am your host. I don't know if anybody knows, but I tried to do some new things at the beginning of the year. Didn't work. You guys just want your regular Daily Trudge stuff. So that's what we're going to stick with. Daily Trudge. Clearly, when I try and change it, people are like, no, don't change it. Right? Try to add music in, stuff. Yeah, it didn't work. If you're here, please say hello, whether watching the live or the rewatch. All right. Okay. So, Michelle says cute jokes. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Showing up without a script. So, what I asked ChatGPT to do, I said, go to the big book and make an outline about trusting in God. So that's what we're going to talk about. When we show up to life, the phrase is you can plan the plan, but you cannot plan the result. right? We got to keep expectations out of this. We've got to we can't anticipate things. We can't sit there and shoulda, coulda, woulda. We can't sit around and what if, right? Yeah, it's getting there, huh, Leisure? It's longer than people think. I have it. It's curly. It's about 2.5 inches. It's about that long now. Maybe a little more. Ooh, morning, Daryl. Good to see you, man. Thanks for the comments on the other live. I appreciated that. But yeah, I cut off the wings. So at least this part isn't all whoosh. I'm not walking around all. He's a fro man. I used to rock a mean fro, man. I did. Maybe I'll grab the picture at some point here. But all right, today we're talking about trusting in God. All right. Even tomorrow, my interview tomorrow, I I put together a few things, but I have no idea how the show is going to go. I do not have an outline for it. I do not have anything. I have a few questions I'm going to ask if we need it. Um, God put it together. What am my job is to show up, hit the record button, and be a producer. It's my job tomorrow. All right. He's a great speaker. So even in that, see, I don't have to do anytime I do the podcast, I put effort into it. Kinda, but I don't plan it. And you want to know why I do that? Because it's not my show. Daily Trudge is my show. Sure, that's my show. But Raw Recovery isn't really my show. It belongs to whoever's speaking. Here, I get to be the center of attention. I get to be the center of attention all the freaking time, man. All right. So, no worries. So, Raw Recovery doesn't need to be that. It's kind of cool. It isn't called the Dion Miller Show. No. All right. That's what I like about it. All right. So, my problem was that I didn't believe in God. It's that I trusted myself more than I trusted what God was going to do for me. After a while, that ended. Do I trust me now? I actually do. I trust me now. But at the end, I didn't trust myself anymore. The trust in myself and trying to keep myself sober was gone. I didn't trust me when I drank. I didn't. In the beginning of my sobriety, I tried to be so accountable that I wouldn't leave the house with more than $2.10 because I can't get drunk on $2.10. I'd be very frustrated if I went and spent $2.10 on alcohol. I'd have two little shooters that would last me about 30 seconds, right? What was it for? $1 for the basket, $1.10 for a cup of coffee because I was going to a meeting. But it is the only money I carried for a year. No cards, nothing. I carried $2.10 with me. It was the most I could trust myself with. Yeah. And I started to need to develop a trust in God. But in the beginning, when I was younger, no, I have trust in God. I believed in God. I did. I've always believed in something bigger than me. Absolutely, I have. But I wanted to do things my way. And today, I still do want to do things my way. I do. Does it always work out my way? No. Does it work out really well? Yeah. Right? You can't always get what you want on. You can't always get what you want home. But if you try sometimes, you might find God will give you what you want. You thought I was going to say need. No, he will. When your life is aligned with God's will, you get what you want. Huh. It's weird. Yeah. Because your will is in line. God will always take care of what you need. All right. Daryl says, it took me years to learn how to trust myself, and there's still times that I question myself. That's when the bounce things off other alcoholics. Absolutely. Yeah, we can't run around doing things on our own accord. I'm changing the font because it is hard to read, and there we go. Okay, because it's kind of hard to read, and I don't need Jeff wondering. There we go. That's better. Okay. Got to set the show up for Jeff, right? Might as well do it right now. Uh, yeah. Do I trust everything that goes through my brain? No, no, I don't. I trust that it's wrong often. Yesterday is a good example that I didn't put much out. I just did my regular stuff. I did do one where I kind of came on and 10 stepped a little bit. And, I do that stuff so other people realize they're not alone. Right? That there's other people going in, and it made me feel less lonely because I was feeling kind of lonely yesterday. I was depressed for 3 days. It happens to me. Okay. I'm not depressed today. It's done. It's over with. So now I move on. All right. The key was, see, my depression turns into anger, and I know that because after a while I just get frustrated. Okay? And the key to depression is you can't sit in it. There's some feelings, yeah, you can confront, so when it comes to my depression, I let it sit for a little bit, see if it's going to pass. If not, then I got to get into some action. Sometimes actually that action is going to laying down for a few hours, try and wake up with it. Okay. Now, it is possible to be angry, it is possibly to be depressed and still have a decent attitude. Right. Yesterday I was mad at God. And I wasn't really mad at God. I that's where I took my anger yesterday. I find that is the best place to take it. I do not need to go yell and scream. And if I do need to yell and scream, there's two men sitting right here that I could call. I could call Daryl or I could call Leisure. And I do every now and again. Daryl's my sponsor. Okay. Yes, I too have a sponsor. And I need them. Okay. Do I do it all the time? No, because sometimes it's like, okay, I kind of know my sponsor well enough what he's going to want to. But when I can't get out of my own mind, yeah, that's exactly where I need to call. That's exactly what I need to do. I don't know how it is for women, but sometimes a man just needs to yell and scream. We don't mean any of it. We just need to get it all off our chest. We need to be angry for 5 minutes, and then we're done with it. Right? I don't know if women go through that or not. I don't want to assume. I would presume that you do. But for me, it has to be a particular person because I have this deep voice, and people get scared sometimes. But there's no reason to be scared of me. I'm not I'm not going to do anything to you. I'm not. I don't get physical. It's something that I'm not big on. If I need to, I'll do it. But it's a last resort for me. So again, my problem wasn't that I didn't believe in God, it's just that I trusted myself more, right? And the big book doesn't say our problem is alcohol, it says our problem is self-will, that our problem is self, right? So I have alcoholism. I haven't drank for almost 10 years now. Alcohol is not my problem. What's my problem? Ism. Self, me. That's my problem. My isms. All right. Leisure says, I'm pretty sure women go through that. Yeah, I would presume so too. Absolutely. Especially when you have a husband like me and you got to put up with me. I know I frustrate my wife sometimes. I know I do. All right. Self-reliance sounded strong, but it just wasn't effective. I grew up, hey, you're a man. You gotta grow shit balls, man. You gotta do this. You gotta be a man. No, we don't talk about our feelings. No, we don't do that. You're a man. I found it took more courage I found it took more courage as a man to ask for help. It took more courage to do that. I was wrong. What I was taught was wrong. It was incorrect. It is okay to ask for help. I don't care your gender. Right? My one and only requirement for me to help you, that you're a child of God. And that includes animals. Mhm. They're here for a reason. Even the fly that's only around for 2, 3 days has its purpose. It's porpoise. Speaking of porpoises, do you like porpoises? All right. Depending on ourselves didn't work. Intelligence, willpower, control failed, and self-trust kept me sick. All right. And I had to break out of that pattern. I had developed a lot of bad habits. Drinking was one of my bad habits because I could how is that a habit? Because I couldn't get off of it. I couldn't stop. Right? My anger, manipulation, all this stuff, they were bad habits. And I had to break them. And I had to break them um, at length. Right. So the big turning point here is when we admit that we are powerless over alcohol and that our lives have become unmanageable. That's the first spot. Yeah. Did you know? See, it looks like my life is still unmanageable. That's why I have God. God helps me manage it. See? God helps it. That's how my life is no longer unmanageable. But leave it to Dion. Guess what it'll be? Unmanageable. Yes, it will. Right? That's why I have the people in my life to remind me why I'm doing what I am doing. Daryl says I've learned from anger management to go ahead and pop off using it as a relief valve and then calm down a second to pause and pray, meditate, or both and reassess. Yeah. The whole point of that is to get it off our chest so we can find the solution. And men, hey, here's a suggestion. Okay. Do it with somebody that's not going to be offended by what you have to say. Okay. And, and don't always go to your significant other and do it. That's what I'm trying to get at. They don't need that. They already had enough of our bullshit. That's what the fellowship is for. That's what our sponsors are for. Okay. Is about talking to the appropriate person that should hear this. Okay. The thing is let's say I pop off on Daryl, right? Well, his day is going to continue being okay. Whereas I pop off with my wife, her day is going to be a little bit harder because she's going to be worried about me. And that is selfish. Okay? So be careful on who you take your anger to. I wouldn't, that's something that I would suggest, right? So our turning point was admitting our powerlessness. I didn't lose control. I admitted I never had it. I never had control at any point whatsoever when it came to my drinking. Nope. Even at 13, 14, once I started to drink, I could not stop. I wanted more. I became insatiable. Right. So trust, where does it start? It begins with surrendering, admitting that I can't run the show. Being powerless isn't a weakness. It's clarity. It's understanding. Because you can't fix a problem until you know what it is. You go to the doctor with something, maybe your knee hurts or whatever. They got to do this. They got to do because they got to figure out what the problem is first before they can do anything about it. And the only way to do that is to find the truth. The only way to solve a problem is by finding the truth. Yeah. Shell says, my bad habit was loving the drama and trying to make myself look good. Oh, I understand. Yeah. Drama. Oh, yeah. I loved other people's drama. Hey, look at their drama. Hey, look at their drama. Right? We use these old tricks like like somebody is trying to do something to what's that over there? So you can turn around. Same thing. Hey, look what this hand's doing. Oh, look over here. Yeah, we're drinking other people's drama. Uh, Makes it, what for me when it comes to other people, like maybe I see somebody on the street with their kids, my heart sinks and I get that bad feeling in my stomach, right? Where and what it well, it's an empathy is what it is. I feel bad for them. It's hard for me to be grateful that I am not them. I can't do that because what I'm saying is that person is less than me. I can't do that. Maybe it feels different for you, but for me, um, I'll be grateful when everybody has a roof over their head. I can't be grateful to have something more that I have something that other people need. It's hard for me to be grateful for that. I know it's weird. Not saying I'm not great. I'm not saying I'm not grateful to have a roof over my head. I've been homeless twice. I know what it's like. I am grateful for it, but it's kind of like money. Money doesn't make me happy, but it sure makes me happier. Yeah. But it's not the thing that's going to make me happy. Okay. If it's added on to something already going on, then, then it's added to it. All right. Daryl says, I loved other people's drama so I could justify my misery loving company. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Every action I took was me setting myself up to have a drink. Every action, not a few of them, not kind of sorta. I put 100% effort into my drinking. So when we ask you to do 90 meetings in 90 days and you think it's too much, yeah, really, is it? We're asking you to take an hour out of your day and you drink every day for 5 to 6 hours at the minimum. Come on. Suddenly you're too busy for meetings. Oh, well, I went out and got a lie. Well, all right. Anyway, so the book doesn't define God. It's not what the big book does. It does not define God. What it does is it defines the dependence. You get to pick your higher power. You get to pick that. Can't pick it for you. Hmm. Just like just like if we're gonna get you a new dog, if I go and get the dog for you, I've kind of done you a disservice, have I not? Because maybe you had a different dog in mind, right? Finally, she wrote back, "Yay!" Aurora Mental Health wrote back, but it was because I was got to meet with folks, but I have some staff already connected with them. Yes, I would love to move forward with AANA means I will need us to wait till the end of February to complete it. Okay, now I know. That's all I needed. Now I know. End of February. I don't have to worry about it right now. And she's already hooked up staff with the people I wanted to be hooked up with. Everything's done. Thank you, God. I needed that clarification. I needed it. Thank you. Thank you, God. All right. It's just about start. Yeah. See, that's kind of what I do. See, I don't even know the staff they're hooked up with. Nobody told me this. Nobody told me. So I'm gonna be writing Dane. I'm gonna be like, "Where's my thank you, motherfucker?" I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that. Oh no, that's cool. That's good because now, okay. Now when I send a client there, I know they're going to be taken care of and they're not going to be taken advantage of. That's what's cool. Right. Now I have my Jeff Allen thing tomorrow. After that, I'm working on what is called the Phoenix Pathways. Yep. Phoenix Pathways. Rising from the ashes of the past. I'm stealing the line from the Phoenix concept, the original line. They don't use it anymore because they don't understand it. So I'm going to steal it from Ray Hayworth. There we go. That's a great way to put it. It defines a pathway for me to create. Yes. Did you know that you created the door, that you made the door of which you are going to walk a free man? It's the door of willingness. You made the door. You created the ark. You did all of it. You didn't know. Okay. And what did we do? We gave you the key. We gave you the key, and you built that door around, you built your door around that key. What is that key? That key of willingness is God, because God is the key to your answers. Willingness is God. Open-mindedness is God. Honesty, truth, justice, brotherly love, it's all God. And that's what's cool. That's what I believe anyway. Right? And then says Daryl, to create my needed dependence on a higher power. Poet. My higher poet. So there's no specific religion. There's not a theology. It is a power greater than ourselves. Something we can depend on instead of ourselves. And it is important that you seek. You've got to seek for your higher power. When you get something, let's say somebody made something for you, right? They went out of their way to do something for you, or they went out of their way to do something nice for you. How'd it feel? So how do you think, are you a parent? How did you feel when one of your kids told you, I'm proud of you for changing your life around for me? So just imagine how God feels when you tell him that you love him. When was the last time you told your higher power you loved them? Okay. I was angry at my higher power yesterday, but I wasn't really angry at my higher power. Right? There was still love there. I still went live. I still went to the meeting. I still did the best that I could with what I had to work with, because that's all God ever asks of me. Even today, I'm going to do the best I can with what I have to work with. Yeah. What time is Jeff? Jeff, what time are you? 1 p.m. PST. Because actually he's in Wisconsin or something, right? Jeff is actually on tour at the moment, so I'm not sure where he's at, but it'll be 2:00 Mountain Standard Time, so 3:00 at your time, Michelle. And don't worry, there'll be announcements. I will do what I usually do. If you are in my WhatsApp group that Dion is going live, you will see it there. I'll be putting it in Grassroots. The best way to do it is to go subscribe to my YouTube. That is the best way to catch the show, because then it'll tell you that I'm live and then you can come catch it. So that is the best way. Right. So trust is a decision. Remember, we made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God. And it was just a decision. 3 frogs are on a log. 2 of them decide to jump off. How many are on the log? 3. They only made a decision. Yeah. Leisure says moments when we don't see eye to eye with our higher power, opportunities. Absolutely there. Yeah. Learn more, grow more. Good morning, Amber. Good to see you. All right. So we don't feel trust first. We act our way into trust. How do we make trust with ourselves? Living amends. Do the right thing even though nobody's looking. It's what it is. It's integrity. Doing the right thing even though no one is looking. So if that grocery cart needs to be put away, go put it away. Now you're walking down the street and there's trash on the ground, pick it up. Maybe you see Maybe you see another human being just sitting on the street crying. Go be a helping hand. Even these little things. God put that trash in front of you for you to pick up. He put that cart in front of you. He wants to see if you have integrity. These aren't really tests as much as they are developing your own self-worth. Because there's one thing alcoholics need, and it's self-worth. Right? Something that we absolutely need. All right. So it isn't like one day I trusted God. I had to practice trusting in God, which means I had to put my faith into something. It means I had to create actions, that I had to do things that were hard and then come out the other side unscathed. And that's where trust was being built. Right. Now, what's on the other side of that? What about the trust people have for you? Well, isn't it a while before you trust people? Do you trust people automatically? Do you? Do you? Okay, people aren't going to do that for you either, right? So you have to be a trustworthy person, right? We got to let go. Part of showing up without a script is letting go of the outcomes. I don't know. I don't know how things are going to turn out. I don't know how the show's going to turn out tomorrow. I don't know how this one's going to turn out. I don't know. But what I do have is trust that God has given me the right words. That's what I do have. Even when I'm angry. Right? Now, yesterday I was a little angry. I wasn't angry. Like I said, I wasn't really angry with God. I was angry at some situations. God helped me get to a point and gave me enough courage to send some emails. And now those people are writing back, letting me know. So God did answer me. Right? Wow. Oh, here we go. Daryl's putting it together here for me. I appreciate the leeways here. Daryl says integrity is also a trudge, a walk with purpose, is a trial and error procedure. Absolutely. You gotta try it. I'm gonna, I'm gonna steal one of Jeff's things. I've had to listen to some of his stuff so I can get his rhythm and the way he talks, right? At one point he was atheist. He might tell this story tomorrow. He's gonna tell it much better than me. I'm sure. And he doesn't swear. I haven't heard him swear once, actually. But um, he had this friend, and Jeff was atheist, and he had this friend who was a pastor, something like that. And he told the guy, he said, "I'm atheist," and the guy goes, "Oh, so you've read the Bible?" And Jeff said, "No, I did not read the Bible." And his friend said, "You're not an atheist. You're a dumbass." Because atheists study the Bible. How can you be atheist? You haven't even read the Bible yet. I see. All right. Anyway, like I said, he tells it much better than me. That's why I do dad jokes, and he's a comedian. Okay, because I'm not a comedian. So when we let go of outcomes, we leave the results alone. Control is replaced with participation. So now I get to enjoy what is going on instead of worrying about what's going to happen. Now I have freedom. I get to live in the day. I get to live in the moment because of that. Right? I do the work and God handles the results. It's as simple as that. And it works out very, very well for me. I'm sure it works out great for you too, or we wouldn't be here, right? Leisure says, I don't believe in atheists. did, did you hear about the dyslexic atheist who didn't believe in dog? It's one of my favorite atheist jokes, right? So that control is replaced with participation. You get to be a part of life now because you're not trying to control it. That's the key. That's the key to that, right? All right. So we're going to kind of wrap this up. Trust isn't protected by belief, it's protected by your actions. You got to show that you have trust in God. And you show that you have trust in God by doing the hard things He puts in front of you. Yeah. Sometimes God gives me a little more than I can handle so that I reach out to His children for help. He doesn't overwhelm me, but He does give me problems that He doesn't want me doing it alone. It's not what He wants. He wants me to reach out to His children and ask for help. That's what He wants. And I do it often. I do it a lot. All right. Ugh. Daryl says unfounded beliefs in people, places, and things without researching the subject matter. Yeah, contempt prior to investigation. That's what that joke really came down to, right? Yeah. So where's a lot of places where we see people struggle with trust, money, relationships, reputation, the future. We go on, right? I trust God, except where I don't. Right? And what was that? Well, those were the promises. It just covered the promises. Absolutely, it did. Fear of economic insecurity and people will leave us. I I tell you right now, I ain't afraid of being broke. I've been broke all my life. I just have different levels of being broke. Right. Right now we're like really broke. That'll probably change by the end of the week. I don't know. It's 11:11, by the way. So what does trust look like in real life? Well, it's pausing instead of reacting, asking for help, doing the next right thing. Thanks, Chat GPT, but no, I don't do the next right thing. I do what's next. I don't know if it's the right thing or not. I have to ask. See, that's kind of the thing. People that say I just do the next right thing don't know what the next right thing is. All right. So, closing question. Right? Where am I still trusting myself instead of God? In what part of your life are you trusting yourself instead of God? And that's a great question. I'm going to have to think on it because I am pretty sure that Dion, being a human being, can find somewhere where he's doing this. Yeah, absolutely. I'm infallible. There's got to be a place. I'm doing that, right? So trusting God didn't fix my life, but it did make life livable. So, oh, Amber, trusting others with my child. There you go. Yeah, that's a big thing. Well, um, Daryl says trying to do what I believe is the next right thing. I'd go for that. I would. I was just trying to have some fun. It didn't quite work. Michelle says contempt without investigating. Yep, good stuff. All right. 44 minutes, 12 seconds. I think that's good. Still got a little bit. Got a sponsor at 12:30 therapy. So I'm going to be working on my Phoenix Pathways program. If you are interested in that, send me a message. You don't have to live here to help me out because I can help you get it done where you're at too. The program I'm working with isn't just in one city, it's nationwide. It's nationwide. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And keep on